Today we're going to be doing a 30-minute stretch class utilizing the Pilates reformer. We'll be stretching our legs, our back, the hip flexors quite a bit, and we'll see what else we can throw in there in this half-hour session. So if you're ready, go ahead and come onto your reformer and we'll get started. We're going to start with bridge work today. So 2 reds and 1 blue spring is what I'm going to start with. If you'd like a little bit more support for your hamstrings, feel free to load on as many springs as you want. More springs will be more supportive, less springs will be less supportive. So ideally around 3 springs, since our goal is to get a nice stretch versus a tough workout. So if you're ready, we're going to be coming down onto our back, placing the arches of our feet on the top of the foot bar, about 3 inches apart or so. The headrest is completely down since we're going to be going up onto the backs of our shoulders here. With your arms at your sides, without moving the carriage, take an inhale through the nose, feel the ribs expand. Exhale, imprint the lower back, and begin to slowly roll the hips up into a spinal bridge. Inhale at the top here to stay. Exhale to slowly roll your spine back down, 1 vertebrae at a time. Little inhale at the bottom here to reset. Exhale, engage the glutes, imprint the lower back, and roll those hips up. Nice inhale at the top to stay. Feel that opening through the front of the hip joint. Exhale to roll the spine back down, piece by piece, vertebrae by vertebrae. Let's do that a couple more times. Exhale to roll the hips up. Inhale to stay. Exhale, roll the hips back down. Inhale at the bottom here. And a nice exhale, roll the hips up. Inhale at the top to stay. And an exhale to melt the spine back down. Through imprint all the way back to neutral. Good. From there, hug your knees in towards your chest. Rock the hips side to side. Massaging the lower back against the carriage. Then gently extend the legs up towards the ceiling, grabbing hold of the calves or the hamstrings, whichever one is accessible. Flex the feet like you're standing flat onto the ceiling, feeling that stretch all the way from the calves down into the hamstrings. Good. All right, then we're going to do a little bit of single leg footwork so we can get warmed up. So we want to have on 2 reds, 1 blue spring. So if you need to make adjustments, go ahead. We'll start with our right heel on the bar, and we'll just keep this left leg in a tabletop position. From there, pressing out and resisting in. Let's inhale to press out, exhale to resist in. If you'd like to lift your headrest up for comfort, feel free. Get mine here, there we go. That usually can help bring your neck into better alignment so that your ears are in line with your shoulders here. So we're just going to really try to get some blood flowing into those legs before we start with our stretching. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Squeezing into the backs of those legs, use those glutes and hamstrings that we just warmed up. And let's go for 3, and 2, and 1. Good, draw it in. Let's switch legs. So left heel is on the bar, right leg is in tabletop. Inhale to press out, exhale in. Initiating by engaging those glutes before you even slide that carriage out. So your quadriceps are not your only responders. Trying to keep your foot on the bar totally flexed, upright. Don't let it flop back and forth over the bar. And let's go for 3, and 2, and 1. Good. All right, now we're going to do legs together with our toes on the foot bar. High heels. We're going to press the carriage all the way up so the legs are straight. From there, lower the heels underneath the foot bar. Feel that stretch. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, low heels. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, low heels. This should feel good. Make sure that the curvature in your lumbar spine remains constant so that as your heels go to the bar, your back's not like excessively arching here. It stays neutral. That really boils down to your abdominals working to help hold your hips still. Then your knees are straight with your quadriceps engaged. And then we can start to take this into prancing, slowly alternating, bending the knees, lifting up high onto the balls of the feet between each one, stretching out those calves. Feel free to linger, really just press that heel underneath the foot bar. Something I like to do is take the bent knee, take your foot and kind of pull your foot underneath the foot bar to give yourself a little more leverage. You really are stretching out that one calf. 2 feet on the bar. Inhale, lift both heels up. Exhale, lower the other heel underneath the foot bar. Use your bent knee. Take your foot. Use your toes as you pull that foot bar towards you to get a little extra leverage for the calf you're stretching. 2 feet on the bar, lift both heels up nice and high, squeeze those glutes tight, and then slowly bend the knees and draw the carriage all the way back in. Good. We'll set ourselves up. We'll change the spring setting. Whatever you'd like to do your leg straps on. So I like one red, one blue, because I'm using the Mermaid reformer. Their springs can be a little tougher, so I do a red and a blue. If you're using something like Balanced Body, there's a chance you might want to do 2 reds. Totally up to you. You know your body. We're going to be using our leg straps, so make sure those are handy. Go ahead and lay down onto your back. Grab those off of your blocks. Scoot off of the blocks with your body, just an inch or 2. Slide the carriage out so the legs are straight. Bring one leg up towards the ceiling, hooking your foot. Once you have your foot hooked, transfer your weight, and then place the other one on the other foot. We'll bring 2 straight legs up to the ceiling, establish your neutral position, so we have our natural curve in the small of our lower back. From here, exhale, press the legs down to about a 45-degree angle, and an inhale to come back up towards the ceiling. Exhale to press down, and an inhale to resist coming back up. Exhale, press down, inhale, come back up. So we are working in a neutral spine this whole time. So what we don't want to happen is our lower back to jam into the carriage as those legs lift. You want to imagine you're keeping a little ladybug alive underneath you at the small of your lower back the whole time. Don't kill it. Exhale, press down. Inhale, resist up. Notice your abdominals engage more as those legs lower down. Inhale, legs lift. Exhale, legs lower. Good, then turn the legs out so you're in a Pilates V. Flex the feet. Inhale, bend the knees in for frog. Exhale, press back out and point the feet. Flex the feet, knees bend. Point the feet, legs straighten. You want to make sure that you're still able to keep neutral. Your knees are not coming too close to you. So none of like this, don't curl into a ball here. Keep your knees at least not too much further past your hips, if at all. Because chances are if your knees go too far over your abdomen, you're going to end up in a ball. We don't want that. Moving into what's called Peter Pan or Stagg, you're going to bend one knee, let the other leg go off to the side. Draw those 2 legs back together and then switch. Bend the other knee, let the other leg go off to the side. Draw the legs back together and then switch. Bend one knee and squeeze together. Bend one knee, squeeze together. Belly is tight, hips are stationary. So it's not a bad idea to place your hands onto your hips. Feel what's going on with them. Hopefully nothing. They're still level. They're still equally distanced from the bottoms of your ribs. And our inner thighs should be a little toasty. But we have a really nice leg stretch series that we're going to be doing at the end of all this here. So hang in there. If you're starting to feel a burn in your inner thighs, that's good. Let's just do one more here. All right, then we're going to take it into short spine. Make sure your headrest is down. We're gonna take an inhale, starting with our legs at 45 degrees in a Pilates V. You're gonna take an inhale, then you're gonna parallel the legs, lift the legs up towards the ceiling. From there, exhale, press down through your arms as you use your abs to draw the carriage into the stopper and roll yourself up onto your shoulders. Then we bend the knees in for a little frog. Then you start to initiate by rolling your spine down, one vertebrae at a time, keeping your heels still. When you can't move anymore, that's when you press into your feet, press the carriage out, extend the legs out straight. Draw the legs together to parallel. Inhale, the legs lift to the ceiling. Exhale, roll up and over. Bend the knees, coming into a little frog. Slowly using your abdominals, melt the spine back down, one vertebrae at a time. Eventually pressing into the straps as you extend the legs out straight. Inhale, parallel legs lift. Exhale, up and over. Carriage is into the stopper. Bend the knees for frog. Initiate, roll the spine down. Keep your feet still for as long as possible. And then start to press through the heels. Extend the legs straight. One more time. We don't need to do too many of these. It's definitely a little bit of an extreme exercise. Not many reps necessary here. Roll the spine down. Press through the heels, extend the legs out straight. All right, let's take some good old-fashioned leg circles here. Let's do 5 in each direction. If you would like to lift your headrest back up, feel free. Resuming that neutral position with your pelvis. Natural curvature in the lumbar spine. One more time. And we'll reverse it here 5 times as well. Exhale, press down. Inhale, bring them up and around. Exhale, press down. Inhale, up and around. Careful you're not going to kick anything, like myself. And one more. All right, the moment you've been waiting for, bring those legs up. Reach up for the gray part of the rope, pull straight down, flexing your toes towards your nose. Feet flat as if you're standing on the ceiling. Tailbone stays heavy. Be careful you don't curl into a ball here. Keep your tailbone down with your heels above your hip joints. So this stretch is not about bringing your feet towards your head. Keep your feet over your hips. Now, keeping some downward pressure in the straps, you're just going to alternate bending one knee and then the other, like you're doing prancing on the ceiling. A little stretch, stretch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then you're going to bring the soles of the feet together for butterfly stretch. Bend the knees, let the feet fold down, knees open out. And from here, it's tempting to let that lower back arch and everything splay out. But try to stay a little bit engaged here so that your ribs are still connected. You're still neutral. So you might only get your feet to about level to the foot bar, depending on how flexible your hips are. If you can't drop all the way down to the springs, don't worry about it. Try not to just overarch through your back. From here, keeping your left leg where it is, open the right leg off to the side, keep pulling onto the gray part of the strap with your hand, just above the metal clasp. Flexing your right toes towards that right ear. Notice that you have even weight across your glutes, so you're not letting all your weight fall to the right hand side. You're not going to fall off the reformer. And bringing the right leg back in, extend the left leg off to the side. Keep pulling on that strap, flexing your toes towards your ear. Bringing that left leg back in, then still holding on to both straps, gently extend the legs both out to the side, flexing all 10 toes back towards your ears. Apply a little bit of downward pressure through the straps with your fingers. Tailbone is down, so careful you're not in some crazy position. Use your arms to assist if you feel like you're getting pulled too far back. All right, now a fun stretch. You're gonna bring 2 straight legs up to the ceiling. We're gonna come into a figure 4 stretch. So your right leg, you're gonna bend your right knee so that your right ankle's in front of the left knee. This right strap has gone completely slack. Use your left hand to push into that left strap, bending your left knee into a tabletop-like position. The right strap is completely slack, don't worry about it. You're gonna place your right elbow against your right knee, and then you're just gonna flex that left foot and feel that left knee drawing back towards that left shoulder just slightly. Even weight across the glutes. You should be feeling a nice stretch through the right cheek. Piriformis. Take a nice big inhale in through the nose. Exhale, try to relax a little deeper into the stretch, letting go. When you're ready, just keeping that right strap onto that right foot, hang on to it just so you don't lose it. Bring 2 legs back up to the ceiling, regain even tension, make sure you're still square. Then we're gonna take the left ankle, cross it in front of the right knee. Use your right hand to provide some assistance as you press into that right strap and take a pigeon stretch, figure 4 stretch. My left elbow is pressing into my left knee. My right foot is flexed. My left foot is also flexed. You should feel most of the stretch in that left glute, that piriformis, glute medius. Tailbone is down, try not to jam your lower back into the carriage. There's still a little curvature. Taking some nice deep breaths. These muscles can get really tight and pull on your lower back, so make sure that you keep them nice and limber. All right, slowly return both legs back up to the ceiling. One last pull straight down, flexing those toes towards your nose, rooting your tailbone. And then we'll go ahead and bend the knees. Remove one foot from the strap, find the foot bar so that you're safe, and then take the other one off as well. Draw your carriage all the way into the stopper. You can hang up your straps, and we'll set ourselves all the way up. And we'll be changing our spring setting down to 1 red spring. Let's hold on to the foot bar. Stand up onto the carriage. Walk your heels all the way back to your shoulder blocks and drop your chest heavily through your arms. From here, keeping your heels down, you can soften the knees a little bit. Give your carriage a slight rock back and forth. Back and forth. Taking an exhale to press it back. An inhale to return it in. Exhale, press it back. Inhale to return. You should feel the stretch all along the backs of your legs, all along your spine. A couple more. If you're a little bit on the shorter side, feel free to step closer to your springs. We'll draw the carriage all the way into the stopper. Take your right hand, grab onto the outside of your left calf or ankle, wherever you can reach. And then you want to try to pull yourself underneath that left shoulder. So we're in a nice twist here, totally upside down. Again, if you're tight, bend your knees. If you're shorter, step further forward, just a few inches will probably do the trick. If you feel comfortable, give the carriage a little rock back and forth. And replacing that right hand. Take your left hand, grab onto the outside of your right calf or ankle. Pull yourself under. Think of squaring your shoulders off to the wall that you're now facing. You can stay here, or you can give the carriage a slight rock back and forth as long as you feel stable. Not going to topple. Good. Draw the carriage in, replace your hand, lower yourself down to your knees. From here, feet go against the shoulder blocks. You're going to sit your hips just slightly back and round your spine. From here, keeping your shoulders where they are, you're going to press the carriage out, extend into kind of a plank position. Then from there, you're going to sink your hips a little bit lower, extending the spine. Then you're going to draw the carriage in like you're coming into swan. Press it back out, round the spine, curl back into that kind of little preparatory child's pose-like position. So from here, my shoulders stay still, use the glutes and the hamstrings to press the carriage out, finally lifting the chest, then sinking the hips a little bit lower, lifting the sternum. From there, pull yourself forward in a bow-like position, still gazing upwards. Press it back out, round the spine, draw the carriage back in. So this is down stretch. The name of this exercise is down stretch. We're just going slow. So from this rounded position, we're nice and scooped. We have a nice C curve. We're going to keep the shoulders still. Press it out, lower the hips slightly lower than you would for a plank. Inhale, lift. Exhale out, around the spine. Return the carriage towards the stopper. Again, press it out, lower the hips. Lift the hips, slide it out, and scoop. One more time, and press, hips lower, chest lifts, slide out, draw it in. From here, let's go ahead and bring our right foot onto the foot bar. If that seems a little bit of a stretch for you, you can always place a platform extender down across your springs if you have one. Our left foot's going to stay against that left shoulder block. Our right foot is going to carefully come up to the middle of the bar. Fingertips stay on the foot bar, chest stays lifted. From here, press the carriage out into a little hip flexor stretch. You don't need to move very far to feel this. Pretty intense. From there, draw the carriage back in. And again, exhale, press it out. Inhale, draw in. Exhale out. Inhale in. And exhale, inhale, one more time, exhale, and inhale. So we're just like maybe 3 inches off the stopper. Again, if you have your balance, reach your left arm up to the ceiling, right hand stays on the foot bar. You're gonna bend slightly towards the right hand side. So what we're doing is feeling an entire side body stretch from the left fingertips, under the left armpit, down to that left hip flexor. Coming up from there, straighten out through the right leg, leaning forward at the waist for a little hamstring stretch. If possible, keep your left hip directly above your left knee. Flex your right toes towards your nose. Breathing, holding onto that bar. Lengthen out your spine. All right, we'll draw the carriage in, we'll switch legs out. So that right foot's gonna go against the block, left foot's gonna come into the center of the foot bar. You're gonna start by drawing those hips slightly forward in an extended position. You're gonna press the carriage out, lowering those hips down a little bit, and then draw the carriage back in. Exhale, press. Inhale in. So a little bit of a dynamic stretch on the psoas, the hip flexor. Two hands on the bar, be careful. It's very easy to lose your balance here. And 2 more. 1 more. Carriage is going to be about 3 inches off the stopper. We're going to reach the right arm up, bend slightly to the left, keeping that left hand on the foot bar. Keep those hips coming forward. And coming up from there, 2 hands on the bar, gently pressing out, getting your front leg as straight as you can. Flex your toes back towards your nose. Your right hip joint is still above that right kneecap, so don't press too far out through the back leg. This is more about the front leg. And then instead of bringing your forehead to your knee, I want you to think of bringing your forehead towards your toes so that your spine is more long versus round. You'll really feel that stretch in a different spot if you do that. Nice big inhale in through the nose. Exhale it all out, and you can draw that carriage back into the stopper. Our last stretch is going to be Mermaid. So coming onto one side, facing sideways on the reformer. One knee is bent up in front of you, and the other knee is bent backwards so that your shin bone is parallel against your 2 shoulder blocks. One hand on the bar, other arm out to the side. From here, we press the carriage out. Take a big side bend. Reach, 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 reach. And draw the carriage back in. Grab onto that front shoulder block. Use it as some leverage to take a nice side bend in the opposite direction. One more time like that. Hand finds the foot bar. Press the carriage up. Big side bend towards the foot bar. Letting those hips kind of lift off the carriage here. And draw it back in. Taking our counter stretch. Grab your shoulder block. Pull it towards you. Side bend away. And my personal favorite here, two hands on the foot bar, shoulders square off to the bar. Slide out, drop your chest heavily through the arms. Inhale, lift the chest, draw the carriage towards the stopper. Exhale, back out. It's a little swan mermaid stretch. Inhale, lift. Exhale, out. This last one will be keeping the carriage in towards the stopper. Then one hand per shoulder block, and you're gonna gaze over your back shoulder, eyes guiding the spine. So while your shoulders and ribs are turning one direction, your hips are gently turning in the opposite, as if you're wringing out your spine like a wet rag. Letting go of those blocks, let's turn around for the other side. So again, the knee that's against the shoulder block, that's the one that is parallel to the blocks. Other knees up in front. One hand on the bar, one arm to the side. Press the carriage out. Take a big side bend towards the foot bar, letting those hips become slightly unlevel. And drawing the carriage back in. Grab onto your front shoulder block. Use it as some leverage to side bend towards the headrest. Reach, reach, reach. And coming back up, hand comes onto the bar. Press the carriage out, big side bend, reach. And coming back up, grabbing onto that front shoulder block, pull it towards you, side bend. Two hands on the foot bar, square your shoulders off to it, slide out, drop your chest heavy through your arms. Inhale, lift the chest, draw the carriage towards the stopper. Exhale, back out. Inhale, press down through the heels of the hands, recruiting the lats, lift the chest. Exhale it out. Last time, I'm going to draw that carriage all the way in, taking a little counter twist, one hand per shoulder block, gazing over your shoulder, looking at something eye level. Hips are rotating in the opposite direction of the shoulders. Twist, twist, twist. And then slowly releasing from there. Hands on the foot bar, coming up onto your knees, just to transition into a nice child's pose. Big toes together, wide knees, hands up on the foot bar. Slide the carriage out, drop your chest heavy through your arms. From here, take a nice big inhale in through the nose, slightly lift the chest as if you're coming in for swan. Exhale, sink a little deeper. And one more time, inhale, press down through the hands, lift the chest slightly. And exhale, sink a little deeper. Keeping your hips onto your heels, slowly draw the carriage back into the stopper, bringing your hands onto your knees, sitting tall, take your shoulders up, down, and back, and you're all done. I hope you feel nice and stretched out. Thanks for joining me in this reformer stretch class. I'll see you next time. Bye.